Okay, welcome. Welcome to our conversation. This is just a wonderful opportunity for us to be in the room together and talk about what's happening. So life is going on in so many different ways. How are we managing it?
Are we?
Are we?
I really wonder if we are, right? I think that's my question, right? Like, what is going on today?
Mm-hmm.
What is going on today that it feels like coaching has become like nursing on a battleground? Don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like we're dealing with victims of a war, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, well, where is that coming from? Why is this happening?
Yeah, good question.
That's my struggle. Why is this happening?
Mm-hmm.
And what can I do to fight it? Feels like we're just dealing with symptoms of a toxic world at our end, right?
Yeah.
You stick to your model, you do your thing, you do it all properly, and you just kind of want to scream, right? Like, what's going on? How did you get here?
Mm-hmm.
And
I
I
think
feel like
it's going to take something different than what we've been doing before.
Yeah, I think we need to be more upstream. I don't know. Yeah, I think we almost need to be more upstream and almost creating a movement of, coaches for humanity or something like that. Have a stronger voice, right?
Yeah, and I agree with Colin because in the last year, I have been coaching clients that have anxiety, depression, feel the future is darker more than ever in my almost 15 years of coaching. So that says something about like how the world in general is feeling about the future. And that is concerning. And I feel that it's not just the clients. I think like around the world, everyone is feeling something is going on. I am not sure. I am not so confident about the future. And as Colin say, in my point of view, this is just the symptoms of this toxic and not really well-being oriented society that we are living right now.
Yeah. Christal, is it happening in the world of entrepreneurs as well?
Yeah, I'm just listening to you and thinking about yes. So as we're having this conversation right now and as this is being recorded, in the world of entrepreneurs, there's a lot going on in the startup world in terms of with the current economic outlook of things. There's a lot of changes that are concerning for a lot of people around how they're going to be funding things. How are they going to be raising their funding and their equity in the next little while, because a lot of funds and a lot of investors are changing. Like they're pulling in, they're changing how they're viewing things. So that then has a knock-on effect in the business model and plan, but ultimately in the actual entrepreneurs themselves and in how they're approaching things. I would be curious to know, as kind of as a part two of that conversation, is do you feel, Colin, do you feel like is there a specific age group or kind of portion or segment of people that you see that happening?
No, I see it across the board. With at every age. I mean, young kids today getting out of university, not knowing how to deal with things or how to manage. That's totally changed. People that have maybe been in a job for 20 years and have to transition out, whether it's their decision or not, that's massive and causes lots of anxiety. people that might have done the opposite and created a family are now, maybe full of guilt or remorse or things like that. So, and then later on in life, we were supposed to be retiring at 60 or 65, and now nobody's going to be doing that. So,
Yeah, it is interesting.
oh my God, like what's broken? What
Yes.
system has not worked?
Mhm.
Is my thing. That's my thing. And that's where I think it's almost like a cry out to other coaches going, guys, we need to be more upstream in the sense that, I mean, we need to be almost more political, right? So right now we've got a great accreditation system, right, with the coaching federation,
Mhm.
but that's kind of like, doing your job now and here and now. I feel like we need to go, one step up and get a bit more political. A lot, right now we're nurses on the battlefield,
Yes.
and it's ugly. I want to know what's going on. How did the battle start?
Right.
And I want to
That's
start.
interesting.
You know what I
That's so
mean? I want to start fighting back. How did this battle start?
Great
One of the
question.
things that
And-
I've noticed, sorry, go Gretel. Oh, okay. One of the things that I've noticed is I hear a lot of people say, there's nothing in my education that has prepared me for this.
Yes.
And granted, a lot of that is the entrepreneurs that I work with, but there's a lot more around it too. And I think that we're exactly to what you were talking about, Colin, about how thinking about upstream is that there's an assumption that education is going to change things, and that the model, there's also a lot of assumptions around the model still being relevant, and that traditional model of education that we have all come through is actually 200 plus years old. So if that's the starting point for how you're entering into so much more in life, then I think that there's just such a lack of just contextual skills to be able to even look on the horizon and identify what is even there in the first place.
Yeah, well, that was exactly what I was going to mention, that the piece of education is the most important thing, that maybe we can do this revolution that Colin is calling us to do it. I will call a revolution about education will be the first step, because that is what is missing. We are using a very old system that is proof is not working, and every day is working even less and less, right? When we see, we have been as a humanity follow a dream to be stable, to be retired at 65 years old, and to have a job the rest of your life. And this is like falling apart in front of our eyes right now.
Yeah.
So we are panicking as a humanity about things are changing so fast, and I'm not even ready to adjust. I don't want to adjust. I want to be safe. I want to be secure. I don't want to be in a world with recession or lack of food, or just people having every single aspect of mental health because no one is happy. But that is just the result. Is not the problem. That is just the symptom, the result, the consequence of what we as a human beings have been creating for years and years and years in the society. Then are you in pain? No worries, go and buy stuff. Are you feeling lonely? No worry, go and buy a huge house. That is going to make you happy. Are you in pain? Are you feeling like you don't belong to a society? No worries. Go and retail therapy is going to help you. Buy everything that you can afford and use your credit card if you don't have enough. And those things are the ones that are going to fulfill your life. Guess what? It's not true.
It's not
So we are falling apart as a consequence of the things that we are doing. So even this is making us feel anxious, depressed, unsure about the future. Really, like everyone is talking about that. I do believe that there is a light in those cracks. And I do believe maybe it's time to change as a human beings. Maybe it's time to change as a society.
Yes.
Maybe it's time to change. Maybe it's time to go to those simple things in life. Maybe it's
Yes.
time to have a
Yes.
smaller house, but a bigger family. Maybe it's time to, maybe in Christmas time, and don't have enough money to buy you a present, but I'm going to give you a hug and I'm going to cook you a warm meal so we can share this.
Mhm.
Right? Maybe
Yes.
these things are happening to connect us as society again. Because if I do believe something can change us, is the human connection. I will never change anything for the ability, the possibility to hug someone, to kiss someone, to say, hey, everything is going to be okay. Or then someone come to me and say, what do you need today
Mhm.
for feeling better?
Yes.
So I think as a coach, we have that huge responsibility to
Mhm.
create this, to prepare ourselves and our clients and the people around us to be ready and not be so afraid to these new changes. And obviously to walk through this pain together
Mhm.
with hope and a light at the end of the tunnel, saying, you know what, this is horrible. We feeling this is a lot. This is maybe too much for me, but you are not alone. Hold my hand. We will cross this together.
Yes.
We could call it like coaches for life, you know?
Yes.
Something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
Colin,
everybody's a life coach, but coaches for life, like
yes.
get our humanity back.
Right.
Yeah.
It's that piece of humanity that often is missing in this mechanical world. I have the privilege of working with a group of Indigenous people in developing a coach training program. And in one of our classes this last week, something happened. Someone shared something that brought up deep emotion. And instead of going around it or just ignoring it or kind of pushing it to one side, we called in a drummer. And so another Indigenous person who's not in the class was invited in for a few minutes to drum and sing with us. And to provide that good medicine for being with the feelings that were happening. And I've never experienced that in a classroom in teaching coaching that I've been doing for years. This was an opportunity to try something different, to approach it from a different perspective. So that's the kind of coaches that we need to be to address this, I'm hearing.
I think so. I think we have to look at it from a sort of sense-making mega trend perspective, because everything that we're seeing on the ground, again, I like that sort of war metaphor, if you want, everything on the front lines is because of that big machine not working.
Yeah, we can't avoid this storm. It's coming straight at us.
Yeah.
Okay.